Duke Luca Abel tore down the original palace in Karnaca, where his father once pinned a medal to my chest. Over the ruins, the Duke built a structure that cost enough to feed everyone in Serkonos for years. A sprawling estate to humble all others, a monument to his ego. I owe it to the people of my homeland to make this right. In Dunwall, we were content to look the other way as long as the silver kept flowing. I've got to get inside the Grand Palace, deal with the Duke, and find a way to steal Delilah's soul.
What's up, ladies and gents? I'm your host, CenterStrain01. Welcome back to more Dishonored 2. Let's do it. Only a few missions left.
This is my last night. Soon, I'll dissolve into the great nothing.
You deserve peace, my love.
I've stayed too long. Find Delilah's spirit. Trap her with this cage of dead flesh. Set me free.
I don't understand.
You will, very soon.
Right in our daily journal. It's time to move on to the Grand Palace.
Long for someone to go after the Duke. Another aristocratic boss, living in a palace and sucking the marrow out of the same people who built it.
Now that things have changed, Stilton might be able to make a difference after the Duke falls. I hope Paulo can revive the spirits of the people in Karnaca. As much as I hate to say it, Karnaca needs a man like Byrne. I guess Duke Abel felt all right tearing down the old palace. I have fond memories of that place.
Fear of the executioner's block has been a fine motivator for many a ruler.
Once the Duke falls, it's my hope that we can build something better here. Something more representative and inclusive.
So this is definitely different. This is new for me here.
Are you ready for this?
I've broken into palaces before. They're made to keep out armies. Stopping a single man who's dedicated to his cause, that's another story altogether.
Getting inside might not be the hard part. The Duke doesn't exactly run a tight ship.
Taking down Duke Abel is only part of the puzzle. You've also got to find whatever it is he's keeping for Delilah.
You were cryptic about what you gleaned from visiting the Dust District, which is fine. The world is better with a hint of mystery. But once you're inside the Grand Palace, whatever you do could affect things in Karnaca for years to come. Remember that.
I've got a map of the Grand Palace for you, and I know something that may be useful. There's a hidden lever in the pantry that opens a passage to the Duke's vault. If he's keeping anything precious for Delilah, I suspect that's where it'll be. Beyond that, good hunting.
I'll see what I can do. I know things in Karnaca are fragile. Emily and I have a lot to think about after all this is done.
It's not widely known, but the Duke has a body double. The man is the spitting image of Luca.
I hope I've been of some help to you. It's good to feel useful. Here near the end of my time.
A likable fellow, and quite humble.
Alright, so we're gonna, well, before we do this, let's go upstairs. I do find it weird how we didn't this time have to do the, what we normally had to do. With the whole wheel.
Now we're going after the one who started it all. The Duke himself. I forgot the thrill of it. Planning drop-off points, picking the approach. thinking about the best ways to kill somebody who lives behind high walls. But with the excitement, there's a black echo that comes back to me for what I did at Dunwall Tower. If anyone deserves killing, though, it's Duke Luca Abel. I've loved a number of women, and even a couple of men. But I've never loved anyone like my Deirdre. After I left home, those first years on the streets, she's all that kept me from the bottom of the river. I could sleep on a pile of garbage under a leaky awning as long as she was there with me. Sharing a tin of potted meat or a bottle of brandy. We nicked during the day. The Duke and his little brother came through Dunwall. And Deirdre and I got in their way as they stepped out of their fancy coach. The Duke goaded his brother, calling us wharf roaches. And it was the brother who swung the stick that killed her. Splitting her skull, there were wooden gazelles on top of the coach. And I snapped one off and drove it into his eye, as deep as it would go. Deirdre was already gone. Dead as a doornail. Lying in the muck, staring up at the gray Dunwall sky. On the run after that. I was hunted by the City Watch and even members of the Grand Guard up from Zirconos. People looked at me like I was cursed, spitting whenever I got close. Everyone knew I'd bring trouble. Even the gangs. The Duke's brother has been dead for a long time. But now was my chance to get back at Luca Abel for setting him off against pretty, young Deirdre. Nothing was the same for me after they took her away.
Oh, that's some good story exposition there.
Should we head toward the palace?
Oh, yes.
Time to get going.
At the palace, the Duke has a lookalike body double, meant to confuse assassins. A friend of mine washes the linens and said the double is a smoker, if that helps. Maybe you can talk to him. She says he's a nice guy. What a shitty job, pretending to be a tyrant like Duke Luca Abel.
Why don't they just overthrow him?
He's got an army, control of the mines, and he's had your support from the capital. At the Duke's parties, people carve up the country while eating boiled crab.
There were parties like that in Dunwall. Toadies sucking up to Emily made me want to be back on the streets in Zirconos.
You're forgetting what that's like. I watched those party lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept. In the flooded district.
I know you struggled. After years at court, I'm a nobody again. But what I've seen here will stay with me when I return to Dunwall Tower. Being in Karnaca again has given me perspective.
Good. After you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff.
Alright, first things first. Alright, let's do this.
Stuff comes in. It's got to get where it's going. That's why they call it the black market. Can't just sit here. Too much chance a Grand Guard catches on to us, or maybe rightful owners come and pick it up.
What's the delay getting it to the shop? Betty's afraid you'll get caught.
The guy that runs the shop is nervous.
Hey, you. You seem different. Can you... You're a good one. You know, there's a place near here, in some rocks behind a fountain. People have always left offerings there. Let's see you sometime.
Let's see what you've got. Damn it. Yes!
There's no such permit, Captain. I know the laws in Karnaca.
Laws change. The Duke's given the Grand Guard leeway to create new fees when needed. You know who else had a nice shop?
What's the matter? You saw something?
You're back at the heart of your homeland. A bigger, better palace than the one you sailed away from so long ago. Feeling nostalgic? Will you ever be comfortable in Dunwall again? Assuming you make it back? You've seen the suffering here, the decay, but, dear Corvo, would you even have lifted a finger if the Duke hadn't put Emily in harm's way? Be honest now. In any case, I know what you're after. The heart you carry can only hold one spirit at a time. So, if you want to walk out with a piece of Delilah, you better be ready to leave something behind.
Alright, so obviously that one was specifically meant for Corvo. So if you remember, there's going to be a lot of people. It's right here. That will try to ruin your day. So we're going to go ahead and bypass them, just like we did before.
Let's ask the ranger to reinspect the riverside drains.
But notice how there's actually no enemies. This is different. Nice. So we can actually get into here, unlike last time, where there was enemies waiting for us. Yeah, no one is waiting. I like how it's different.
Please, come right in. I'm sure you're an honest and respectful customer with coin to spin. You get the customers you deserve, I suppose.
Out anywhere. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm somebody to get some money. How am I supposed to make a living around here?
A deal well made.
I miss the time when I could go to sleep without wondering.
The prices reflect the exquisite quality of the items offered. Very good. Come back soon, if I'm still around.
Alright, so let's make sure we're good to go. Yep.
No, not this time.
We're playing dice tonight. See you in?
Wouldn't miss that. I'll get the cigars tomorrow. Wanna buy one?
It's like, it's a little different, because last time, you know, I had to take out all these people. This time they're not here, and look, there's no trap. Oh, no, trap's still there. I guess it's not all different.
The boat's moored in the bay and they haven't paid any taxes.
Exactly.
They'll pay for that. We should go out there and get our due.
So I wonder, maybe you have to go all the way back to get to that.
I bet a week's wages is the worst assignment.
Nice.
What's going on? What?
If you remember correctly, we got the key. That's how we were able to do this here. It's just one of many ways that you can do things. All right. Looks like you could use them both. Well, we have done the first part of the mission. Now it's time to head up to the actual second part. Again, remember, I'm kind of not rushing, but going through this in a more fast pace, not getting all the things that I got in the previous one. But hopefully you guys are enjoying, and let's continue on to the Grand Palace.